When I was young, I was so bad. I would get kicked out of school, kicked out of classes because I was either fighting or I was disruptive.
You were fighting?
Oh yeah.
What do you tell me about that?
Oh my God.
Why were you so angry?
Because every kid that would talk, if a kid talked shit, I'd hit him.
And are we talking about elementary or are we in middle at this point? What age?
Both, up until almost high school.
So were they picking on you, or
It was sometimes it'd be picking on me if I was young.
Why?
The redheaded thing.
You did get picked on for that?
Not really. It was I'm not trying to like project like that was.
But here and there, you would get those people.
Once in a great while by someone older than me.
And that was a trigger for you?
I hit him right in the face.
Punched him
as hard as I could. I mean, right away. I wouldn't even think twice. I swear to God, it's so unfortunate. I told.
Who's it unfortunate for? I think I know who it's unfortunate
yeah,
for.
not for me. Bad anger issues, but also I talked about it on Callan, on Fighter and the Kid. That's this nickname Slugger Santino. This elementary school teacher said that because I wouldn't stop fighting people because I would get mad at somebody for either if they were making fun of me, not picking on me, like joking about me, and I would just take out all my anger on them. I just hit them.
Where's that anger come from?
I don't know.
You come from a broken home, divorced parents.
Yeah, but my parents split when I was 1. Before I didn't know them together. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't have that experience. But my dad was in and out of my life all the time. But that wasn't really the root of it. Like I don't think that was it. I think it was just
in and out of your life. Why? What did he do?
Prison.
For real?
Prison.
See, I don't know when you're joking with me or not.
I swear to God.
What? Are you comfortable talking about
Totally,
that?
yeah. I don't give a fuck.
What did he do to go to prison?
Drugs.
Selling or?
Both. Selling, buying, being involved with pieces of shit.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad split at 1.
Before
you were 1.
Right,
do you have any
around,
siblings? Is there anyone that precedes
not from them.
you?
Not from them. No.
Okay.
I'm the only one from them.
Not from them.
But I have halves. I have half siblings.
Okay.
But I'm the only one from them, from my biological mom and dad.
So at what age do you remember meeting your dad?
Shit, maybe I remember maybe 3 or 4. I remember going to his apartment when I was 3 or 4 and watching Bears games. Like that, I kind of remember, but not much. He was like a figment of my imagination as a kid. He drove. I used to talk about it on stage. He drove a Firebird. Remember Pontiac Firebirds? Yeah, he drove a Firebird. He had a million of them. He would trade them out in and out, different colors. But he loved cocaine. He loved cocaine.
Doing it and selling it?
Everything, all the above. And then just unruly people that he was surrounding himself with. I'm sure they were involved in criminal activity as well. You know what I mean? He had a lot of protection because my grandfather's
his dad?
His father's people were,
dialed in.
They were people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were people.
But he would go to prison.
He went to prison
in Cook County?
Yeah, Cook County Prison. This is how I knew my grandfather had people. First of all, my grandfather worked at the dog track, not the horse track, at the dog track. Yeah, bro. There goes
and
the rabbit.
Not greyhounds either.
No, dog, just loose dogs. Yeah. Just loose neighborhood animals. But he would. But I would go see him. I'd go watch amateur boxing sometimes at the Greyhound track. It was called Maywood. Maywood's the dog track. I don't think it's around anymore. Arlington is the horse track. But here's how I knew. His friends all had hilarious TV nicknames. Only when I was older. Like his best friend was this guy, Joe the Hat. Joe the Hat always had nice cars. Brand new Corvette, brand new Porsche.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker's a magician. What does he do? And then I got old enough to realize these guys don't have jobs. They kick it all fucking day. So what did he do to make money?
And are they younger at the time? Well,
they were probably, no, I mean,
50s,
they were probably in their
60s?
50s or 60s, right? They weren't like 30s or 40s. But it was always so mysterious. And then I knew all these guys with all these bullshit nicknames, like Joe the Hat, the marksman. I was like, who are these?
The marksman. I think I know who he is.
But you think it's you as a kid, you don't.
The marksman.
Yeah, you just don't wrap your head around all that stuff. You don't understand what any of that shit is.
It's normal. It's
it
all
just sounds like normal
until
shit.
you realize
right.
when that shit is not normal.
Right. And then you realize what the hat.
Mom, I'm going to the marksman's house.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not.
No. So that's how I knew my grandfather had friendlies, And so my dad and his brother were up to no gooders, and they were always in trouble. Always in trouble. Both great athletes, both had good opportunities to do things and just couldn't stay out of fucking trouble. And then my dad's brother went to Vietnam and got addicted to the horse like so many of those dudes did. And then had a tough time with his life until he got clean, found Jesus.
That's what took it.
He found Jesus hard. And
in
then
prison? Apparently, Jesus lives on death row.
Yeah,
a lot of them find him.
Yeah, he
there.
does. Yeah, he does. He's in cell block 2.
Yep.
But yeah, and then he got his life so clean together. But my whole childhood with my dad.
Are you close with your uncle now?
No, he's in Florida. But he found God. He works with this woman. I mean, he works at this church, and his life is good. He's living a nice, good, clean life. But my old man, we had this weird up and down relationship of like, just was in and out of prison, so didn't really know him.
Did you ever go visit him in prison?
Never. But he would call all the time. This is my favorite. Back in the day when they used to prison collect calls,
Yeah.
He'd be like, you have a collect call from Cook County prisoner inmate 48527.
It would say his number.
Yeah, it would say the number, and then it would go, from dude, and it'd be a chance for them to leave their name, right? But my mother would never. She would be angry that I accepted it, so she didn't want me to accept the call. She's like, I'm not paying for that motherfucker to pay. Fuck him.
You got to pay for you to talk to your own kid.
Yeah, fuck that. So she would deny it sometimes. So he knew that it would get denied. So he would leave his message in the time when he's supposed to leave his name. So it's supposed to just be like, you have a collect call from Rick,
Yeah.
So it'd be he would leave a collect call and be like, you have a collect call from Cook County inmate, da da da. And then they go from, and they go, hey, what's up? It's me. I just want to say hi. And it would cut it off every time. So
listen, cut that new shit with some baking soda. Listen, they're coming to buy it new.
It was just so fun. It was just such a funny. But so I never had like, if we're trying to tie it all back in, I never had like anger because of him or anything like that, because my stepfather is the greatest dude that's ever lived.
Oh, so you did have someone step in.
Mm-hmm. He came in, yeah.
How old?
They met when I was, I don't know, I think it was like 3 maybe. They met and started dating when I was young, 3 or 4. And then, and he's the greatest dude, so he's a great father figure. But it's just, I don't think I had like anger and resentment towards him. I just had a lot of pent up fucking anger, and maybe it was just in the blood. My whole family's like that. Just,
well, you got good blood. We already know that.
Yeah.
We already know
I think it's
that.
just attitude shit. I think it's just we come from that world of asshole, busting balls, blue collar, chip on your shoulder, angry. Like I was talking the other week about my grandfather used to make fun of rich people all the time. His angle on things was so genius that he was like, he'd be like, hey, why do you want to go to a fancy restaurant anyway? The lights are dark. You can't even see the fucking food. Like that's how like a poor person jokes about the rich,
right?
To make it sound like they have it worse,
right?
But I think that was always kind of the culture. It was always that proud of who we are, proud of our thing. But I guess it's just a weird toughness that some Chicago people have for some fucking reason. I had it for some reason in spades. I was just an angry motherfucker.
And at what age does is your dad still alive?
He's alive.
And has he settled down at all?
Oh, he's been clean for a long time.
So what age in your life is
he got too old to do drugs? He says he was saying that. He was like, I got too old to do drugs. What age did you like finally connect with your dad? In and out, like I would connect with him a little bit in my college years, a little bit, and then after college, it's always been in and out, because it's always been like, that song, The Cat's in the Cradle and the Silver. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That's exactly like my life. I mean, because he says like, when are we going to get together? And it's like, oh, one day, we will. We'll have a good time. And then he talks about in the song, it's such a sad fucking song.
I think he even says when your mom picks up the fucking collect call.
What are we going to connect? When mom accepts my fucking phone call, son, we'll get together then. But that's I think we've always been, it's always been like, we're getting real serious. It's always been in and out.
Okay,
but no, it's just been my choice to be like my own man now. This is weird to say, but I'm honest about it. I don't care. We're two men that live in the, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to think about it like your dad.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have that kind of connection. So he's just a family member. He's like a man, I mean, it would fucking shatter his soul to know that's the truth. But I think that's just an honest, we never had that connection, Like you never had this like, there's love. There's got to be love because it's blood and that's just forever. But I never had this like ethereal bond thing because we were on 2 different worlds. And now even more so, I'm on 2 different worlds. I live fucking 3,000 miles away.
Right.
And I have my own life, my own family. I'm trying my own career. And like it's hard. It's hard enough to stay in contact with my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, those things take over. So
is he still in Illinois, Chicago?
Hell yeah, they don't fucking leave. Those people don't leave.
So
how many people left Baltimore?
Nobody. I mean, they moved out of the city, but
yeah,
they
but
haven't left
they don't
the area.
leave.
No, yeah,
you don't do
all
it.
Still there.
Right, they all live in the fringe area
Has
of
he
Chicago.
come to see any shows in Chicago?
Yeah, he came up to Madison, Wisconsin with my grandfather to go. He's seen a few shows. He saw me do my Showtime special.
Listen, if you wouldn't mind not selling some merch, we're trying to move some product to your motherfucking show.
Right at the merch table, I'm like, who's that? What is that? What is that?
You get some of Andrew's shirts, and we got pure cut cocaine over here, y'all.
Yeah, I think it was, and he's made good on his life.
Did they like the show?
Yeah, as far as I know, you can never really tell.
You don't hang out a little after to go to dinner.
A little bit.
Something?
No, we do sometimes. We have before, but we
Did
had
your mom talk to him at all?
No, they ain't straight. No, you know what it is.
What about your stepdad? Does he get it with your dad? Does your dad resent him, or does he thank him for stepping in?
No, I don't think they have any relationship whatsoever.
Nothing.
But there's no hate at all because he knows my stepdad is the guy. You know what I mean? There's no there's no fuck you. There's no. You know what I mean? Like it's more like polite, cordial. Like when he would come pick me up when I was younger, once in a great while, it'd be like, hey, okay, hey, it was just real polite shit. It was never like this battle, because it's not like that battle happens when someone's like, you with my ex-wife, Right. That my mom isn't my dad's ex-wife. It's not like that.
Yeah, it was only 1 year.
Well, they were together for like 3 years, married. I don't even know how long before that, a couple years before, but whatever, maybe a 5-year total. That's how little I know. But it's different. You know what I mean? Like when you sever marriage from that kind of world of like, because of going to jail and being up to no fucking good, it ain't like you left me. It's like, nah, man, you left us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's more. I think he knows that shit. It's not like he has a blinded sensibility of what really happened. He's smart enough to understand. But I think the things that I took away from it are I probably have his attitude, I have his anger, I have his he's just brash, big dude, big, angry, was always mean. But the things I took from him that were positive were like, he was phenomenal with people, and I always admired that. He could talk to anybody, was scared of nobody. And I mean that in like a friendly way, and also in a racial barrier, socioeconomic way, right? He would go to, he was a contractor, he would go to probably the worst neighborhoods. We'd go to the toughest parts of Chicago, and I'd come with him on jobs sometimes. And they loved him. Like in these communities where, white people aren't supposed to go, if we want to talk real talk, people don't want to talk about, white boys aren't supposed to go over there. And he would go, and people, hey, what's up, Rick? People would love him because he was a man of the people. And I always admired that anybody he could fuck with. I don't care what right. Skin color, how much money they had. It wasn't just about race. It was just like he could fuck with anybody. So I loved that about him, and I think I took some of that as far as like receiving people. That was a positive from a negative.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who you are, where you're from. I have friends at all different colors and races and socioeconomic classes, and that's something that he always made me. I was so surprised. Old black women fucking loved him. They would like, he was this comforting, confident, very confident. No one could stand in his way from like getting work. I think that was an admirable quality. If you only transfer that into something else, you know what I mean? But those things I took from him, strong personality, strong-minded, strong will, not weak, you know what I mean? Things that like I see in other people that I admire. When someone's a hard worker that like doesn't give a fuck when they get hit, when they get down, it's like, I'll just get up again. Fuck it, hit me again. So that was a positive thing for me, especially when it came to like sports, relationships, this business, you can't be a pussy and try to get into this game.
No.
You learn fast. You're like, you just kind of have to be tough as fuck to like deal with shit all the time.
That's why, you've got all these people online that just want to shit on you and say the worst fucking things possible.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, my own mother looked right in my face and told me she hated me. I was a loser. I was like, do you really think your fucking comments have any bearing on my fucking day?
Good luck.
No, bro. I'm still dealing with some shit. Okay, your little fucking sprinkles of, you suck, Sickler. I hate your laughs. I don't give a fuck.
By the way, that's your mom commenting on some of those.